You mean to tell me that I have to pay bills for the rest of my life? First episode jitters. Yeah, Mike was shaking, but I made it through. Now I'm back at it with some confidence until adulthood hit me in the face again. Yeah, let's get into it. Welcome back to Not So Lowkey. Not your average mic check, not your average conversation. This is a space where we say things most people keep low key, but we don't hold back. And today we're talking about adulthood. Why it feels like one big scam. From bills that never end, to hidden costs nobody warned us about, to the mental tax of pretending we got it all together. We're breaking down the true price tag of adulthood. So if you ever stayed at your bank account and you were looking at it and you were wondering, is this really my life right now? This for you. But before we get too deep, let's talk about how the internet already called out this thing called adulthood for what it is. So if you scroll through TikTok, Twitter, maybe even the gram, there's a lot of people that be talking about certain things that should probably be free, but they really ain't. Those things could be like rent, Wi-Fi, therapy, half of the stuff we need just to survive. Adulthood feels like extortion, if we're being completely honest. And don't even get me started on subscriptions. Adulthood is basically paying back for things that you thought you already owned. So on TikTok, you may see a few people talk about how Wi-Fi, therapy, maybe even healthcare should be free. Wi-Fi, I probably agree with. I ain't gonna lie to you, because without Wi-Fi, you don't have anything, and that's global everywhere. And so I don't really see why the reason we're paying for Wi-Fi. And therapy and healthcare, I understand it, but hey, subscriptions, I think you probably get overboard with subscriptions if you don't even realize it. Like food deliveries or food delivery apps, I should say, storage space on your phone. I thought you own your phone. Like I paid all this money to get my phone and I still gotta pay just to be able to use it. It's like, what's going on for real? If you want me to have something or I'm owning something, I should be able to own all of it. If I need more storage on my phone, I should be out there to go buy like a clip or a chip like how I was back then and put it in and upgrade my storage space. But to tell me I have to download external apps or I gotta buy other things in order for me to just be able to have more storage on my phone, whether it's for my pictures, my music, that's crazy. It's like it's a scam for real. Everyday scams are like parking at your own apartment complex. It's like I gotta pay my rent and then I gotta pay just because I gotta park my car for that one parking spot. You're already charging me so much for the rent money. I should be able to park here for free. Or even if you're in school, you know this one, overpriced textbooks. That'd be crazy. Cause these textbooks be costing you through the school $300, $400, and you could go find them on Amazon, maybe like 20, 30, sometimes below that. But all of these crazy little things that we need to survive in this thing called adulthood is really just them taking the money from us. Do we really need that? I really doubt it. But they're gonna sell you on the idea of it's something that's super important. That's what we really need. Like you need a subscription just to cancel all your other subscriptions because you forget about them. That's crazy. But those are just surface level scams. I ain't even gonna hold you. The real cost of adulthood runs way deeper. So here's the deeper scam of adulthood: the myth of having it all in your 20s. That picture perfect adulting checklist. Nah, most of us are figuring it out while drowning in hidden fees, hidden debts, and hidden costs that nobody ever warned us about. So let's break it down. You got the mental, the financial, and the social tax of adulthood, and why nobody has ever told us the full price tag. When you really get into it, the financial tax of adulthood, it starts off with groceries. It feels like a second part of your rent. You got car insurance, credit card interest. It's like all these things play a certain toll in it. So you're telling me that I got to pay for groceries and I got to make sure I'm secure enough within myself just to be able to afford my groceries, pay my car insurance, and if my credit card hit me with interest, be able to handle that all in 1 month. Why not allow certain things to like give a little to gain a little? You feel me? Like groceries, the price for them things they'll never tell you, and that was a big reason why your parents was like, you have that McDonald money, like your mom. I know your mom told you that once or twice, or even your pops. One of them had to tell you that. But if you really looking at it, here's the crazy part: you're going through everything that you're going through, shopping, school, work, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna afford to buy groceries, so I need to eat. You pay that money on them groceries, you missing out on something else. So now if you're not really stable enough, you really don't got it. It's like you're stable, but you're broke. And then if you broke, you're not really stable. You can't be both in this thing called adulthood. They want you to grind and get it out the mud, but then if you don't do that, you struggling and you at the bottom of the list. It's crazy. The second part was mental tax, burnout, decision fatigue, anxiety from constant responsibility. I think that's the biggest thing about adulthood that they ain't never tell us about. And all of this is streaming from growing up and going to school. Growing up, they don't tell you about the burnout when you have all these bills coming through, or you have tough decisions that you got to make when it comes to, do I want to renew my lease here, or do I want to go somewhere else? Do I want to get up and move? What career path I got to go through? They don't tell you all about that mental tax and how much it takes off on you for real. Because just due to the fact that you got to make all these decisions, you get tired of it. Like sometimes you just want to lay back and chill, but they don't never prepare you for it. They don't never come out here and tell you, if you set your mind up to do this and set your money to do this, you could go out there, own yourself an Airbnb, rent it out, have the money make the money for you. And it's like, what am I doing for real? Like, what are y'all doing in schools or even your parents? And it's not saying that everybody had bad parents, but not everybody's parents were able enough or even stable enough to put me in a position or put you in a position that's going to have you looking way better out there in the future. When you get to this crazy, glorious age of the 20s, your mid 20s, have everything situated, and it's impossible. Then you get into the social tax. The social tax is your relationships feeling strained. Then you got Instagram or even your LinkedIn or even your Twitter. You're trying to compare yourself to people. And then the stigma around struggling. Everybody out here is struggling, but not everybody's showing that they're struggling. So just because it look like I got it going on, you're gonna assume that I got it going on, and you're gonna try to copy what I'm doing. You're never gonna succeed like that. If they put you on the right path for you to say, you know what, I don't need these certain friends around me because they're not doing what I'm doing and their path is different. It's real to be able to acknowledge that, but it's also got to be real for you to realize that whatever they got going on isn't what's going to be going on for me. If I have friends that's on athletic scholarships, their lifestyle is going to be way different from mine because I'm on an academic scholarship. It's two different playing fields. And they try to tell you that everybody's on the same playing field because we're going to school together and everybody's starting off from 18, or everybody starting off from 17 because of the grade you're in or the year you graduate. Is never like that. Everybody's on a different playing field. It's never fair ground. So it's like my Instagram or even my LinkedIn have certain connections, certain networking that you don't have, and it's like I can't even be upset with you because you have that access, you got that ability to it. I don't. I got to do it a different way. But who am I to judge? So how do I really feel about being an adult? I don't know. I don't feel like it's anything too much crazier besides all these things and lists of responsibilities and tasks that we have to do that we ain't never been prepared for, streaming off from going to school or even dealing with your parents. So is it real or is it fake? Let me know. Now, since this show is called Not So Lowkey, let's play a quick game and put some of these so-called adulting essentials to the test. All right, mic check. Let's play overrated or underrated? Credit scores. Credit scores are like your adulthood's report card that you ain't never asked for. I feel like credit scores are overrated if you don't understand them. If you understand how the credit score works and how to really navigate yourself around the system of credit, you may feel like it's underrated because the amount of bills and the repayment and your credit history that you got going on, you may feel like your score should be higher than what it is. But as a newbie coming in, you're never going to realize the fact that your credit score has the biggest impact on your life. And if you don't know the way to finesse around it, you're definitely going to be stuck. Meal prepping, survival's hack, or is it like just for hype? I feel like it's a survival hack, and I feel like it's underrated because not too many people know how to meal prep. Everybody's so concerned about, you know what, let me go get some Chick-fil-A, or let me go get some Chipotle, or let me go get some McDonald's, or the new one I've seen now is Cava, however you guys say it. I ain't never been out there. But it's like, I'd rather go to the store and I'll spend that bread on them groceries that I was just complaining about, come back to the crib, and I'll cook myself meals, prepare it out 3, 4, 5 days. Now that's 3, 4, 5 days I could save bread. I feel like it's a survival hack. If you ask me, I meal prep, and I think it's the best thing ever. But not too many people are like that. 9 to 5 jobs, stability, or a modern day trap? I don't know. I feel like it's for stability. But some people feel like it's a trap. Not everybody want to work a 9 to 5. And a 9 to 5 isn't for everybody. I ain't gonna lie to you. So if you feel like it's for stability, you're gonna feel like it's underrated. If you feel like it's a modern day trap, you're definitely gonna call it overrated, just due to the fact that you feel like you shouldn't have to be here from 9 in the morning to 5, and just those 8 hours in general, to be like, you know what? I want to go to the crib. I want to make the bread while laying in my bed. I want to be an influencer. I want to be a content creator. And no disrespect to them, because look what I'm doing right now. But you just got to really view it as, what am I doing for myself that somebody else isn't doing? So you may view this 9 to 5 as saying that's a modern day trap, and I may view it as this stability, but that's just due to the fact that I'm allowing myself to venture off, and that 9 to 5 is funding everything I need to do to get myself out of it. So I feel like it's underrated to have a 9 to 5 because not too many people want to have a 9 to 5 anyway. Streaming bundle, is it convenience or is it a cable 2.0? I think streaming bundles are definitely cable 2.0. I know not too many people want to deal with cable anymore because the prices are crazy and everybody's going to like streaming, and you trying to get things on YouTube TV. You trying to go through maybe even Amazon Prime or Apple TV, or what's the other one on Hulu, all the Disney Plus, all these things that we got going on. But when you really sit there and bag it, every single subscription that you got through a streaming service, if you put them all together, you might be paying the same that you was for doing for cable. So streaming bundles definitely overrated in my opinion, because are you really saving money, or are you putting yourself in a deeper hole that you're not aware of? But hey, even the basics of adulthood are up for debate, and that's exactly why we need to talk about it. Speaking of real life scams, let me take y'all behind the mic real quick. So, quick story. My first real I'm not financially stable moment or financially prepared for this was I was in school, and I wasn't living on campus, so I was living back at the crib. But even at the crib, I had to make, I got to pay my little rent or pay my dues. So I had to pay my dues. Bills are stacking up, like my phone bill, other things that I had going on, like at the crib that I was responsible for. And of course, that same exact time, I caught a flat. I had to change my tire, and all of that happened in the span of like 2 days. And while I had to do all of that, I still had to go back to school and I had to pay for a few classes. So that's already up to like 3,000. Man, they don't tell you about none of that. They don't tell you how you finna walk into something, going to school, you gotta pay out of pocket for certain things. Because if you're not on a scholarship, you gotta pay out of pocket. If you don't want to apply for no loans, you gotta pay out of pocket. Then if you're not living on campus and you're living at the crib, some parents may allow you to be like, you know what, you going to school, you straight, you good. But other parents like, no, you got to chip in. You feel me? Like you living here too. And there's no disrespect to people that are like that or people that are going through that. But everything be stacking up and adding up. Then you got yourself a car, and now you got yourself a car, and something happened to your car, you got to take care of it. You got to take care of yourself at that. And don't get me started if you got somebody, a significant other. So all of those fees stack up. And while they stacking up, you just be like, dang, now I'm in a spot. And that was the day I realized adulthood doesn't prepare you or it doesn't come with a starter kit. It throws you in the fire and hope you figure it out. It's like you going straight down there to the end zone in the deep end. And let's check if you could get that kickoff return for real. If you hitting 100 yards straight, you was definitely getting stopped 10 yards in. That's how crazy adulthood is. But hey, if we can't beat the scam, maybe we can laugh our way through. So, you know what I like to do. So here's my challenge to you. My challenge is text your friends and split one crazy bill or one crazy expense. Make a joke about it, laugh through it, maybe even scam adulthood back a little bit for everything that has put you through. But hey, if we got to play this game, we might as well play it together. I don't know about you, but that sounds a little bit better. But in all retrospect, adulthood, it's a blessing, but it's also a curse. I feel like being an adult has its advantages. There's certain things that come with being an adult that I wouldn't give back. But there's also certain things that I never want to see again. And I'd say being an adult, it prepares you for a lot, but it doesn't prepare you for enough. And as time goes by, you figure it out. For sure you figure it out. But the biggest thing that I feel like in schools or even colleges that they don't ever prepare you for or even tell you what you really got to do as an incoming freshman or even as an upperclassman is make connections with the people around you. It's those small little connections that matter the most. You'll have people that have been in your shoes before and you would never know just because you were scared to talk or you didn't want to make a connection. And growing up in Florida, like being where I'm from, you don't really have too many people going up to each other, talking to people. And I feel like that's something that really need to change. We got to realize that if we really want to succeed and really want to prosper, it might be better if we come together and stop being so against one another. And so I feel like if you really want to be an adult and you really want to be successful and prosper, you got to start with the little things. Make your connections, network the right way, interact with people around you. Don't be stuck up all the time just because you feel like you're going through a hard time and nobody else is going through a hard time. Because, hey, hard times hit everybody. But it's the tough ones that make it out and they always on top. All those people, all those Instagrammers, celebrities, and everybody you want to follow, you're going to be like, dang, why they got it like that and I don't got it? And we in the same age group or same age range and what's going on with it? Sometimes you got to look at yourself in the mirror. You got to tell yourself, you know what? I need to tighten up. But hey, if you feel like you can't do that, ain't nothing wrong working that 9 to 5 and trying to get it out the mud still. I'm just saying what I would do. Not even what I would do, what I'm going to continue to do. But hey, thank you for tuning in to Not So Lowkey. Not your average mic check, not your average conversation. Until next time, keep it real and keep it not so low key.